Hi guys, Jack, Colorado. I wanted to talk to you today about some of the guns that I use for my OPSEC prep stuff. And I've just got a handful here. I guess I'm still new to prepping, but I've been doing it about a year, but just get a little more seriously into it. And I want to talk to you about some of the guns that I use and what I think is important and what their versatile points are. Start out with one of the most elemental things that a person can have for protection and security. Now, of course, Colonel Jeff Cooper said that handgun is good for one thing, and that's to obtain a rifle. And if you're going to a gunfight, carry a rifle. Rule number one, though, try not to go to a gunfight if you don't have to. My favorite gun in my whole prep supply is the good old-fashioned revolver. Because of its simplicity, its versatility, its reliability. This is a 681 Smith Wesson. It shoots 357 Magnum, and of course it'll also shoot 38 Special. I can also use shot shells in it, so it has a lot of versatility. I picked this gun up for just under $300 several years ago, used at a local gun shop. They happen to be a big Smith & Wesson dealer, so they were fortunate. Every couple of years the owner of the store would hire the Smith & Wesson Performance Center, the mobile Performance Center, to come around. Now, when I bought this gun, it looked like it had been stored underneath somebody's seat in an old pickup truck or something, a tackle box gun, toolbox gun. It was just, you tell it was a very utilitarian piece and hadn't been treated with a lot of love and kindness. Nothing wrong with using something, but it just hadn't been loved. So I picked it up for under 300 bucks. I took it home, took it apart, cleaned it up. It was a little sloppy, but it was useful. But the guy that owned the store, he says, hey, when the Performance Center shop comes around, I'll make sure they take care of you on this. And of course, if you've ever been to a store that has a Performance Center mobile unit set up, they usually don't charge you anything for it. The owner of the store takes care of that. It's a promotional thing. So long story short, every internal part of this gun is hand-fitted Performance Center parts. After I cleaned it up, polished it up, things turned out great. It's a beautiful gun. It functions flawlessly. It is dead accurate. As you can see, this is a 681. It's an L-frame, not a 686. And it doesn't have adjustable sights, which is just fine. You know, I'm not a bullseye target shooter. This is a combat gun. And it's good for protection. And if I had to keep one handgun, and I pretty much am a big handgun guy, oddly enough, it's not going to be any of my auto loaders or anything else. It's going to be this guy because of just the function and reliability of it. Love my my L-frame 4-inch 357 Smith & Wesson. Hey, this might not be the most popular thing with some of you guys out there. That's okay. I can take a ribbing. I also know what works. It's like a hammer. It works. This is a P90 Ruger in 45 ACP. It is a stone solid, reliable firearm. I love this gun. It's inexpensive, as most modern semi-autos go. Still can be bought for well under $500. Single stack, 8-round mag, double action, single action, decock safety. I'm not a big fan of the manual safeties on double action guns. I work on the theory, if I want the gun to go bang, I'll pull the trigger. But other than that, very functional gun, incredibly reliable. I've owned it, God, 15 years. Not once when I've owned this gun have I ever had a misfire, a misfeed, a jam, not a malfunction one. Even when I treated it like the proverbial redheaded stepchild, didn't clean it. Fantastic gun. Shot a lot of IDPA with it when I first got it. Took a lot of ribbing from the guys with the fancy high-zoot guns. Good for them. This thing never gave me an issue. My other handgun that I sort of consider an essential gun is the venerable 1911. This is a Springfield Armory 1911 A1 loaded lightweight. It's an alloy frame. I love this gun. It's very, very accurate, incredibly reliable. If it came down to the two, if I only had to choose one of the two, sorry folks, I'm a 1911 guy in my heart. I think it's the pinnacle of design, but this is what I'm going to carry. I've also got one of these guys in 38 Super, which is a fun gun. It's a very powerful gun. I like it a lot, but I'm probably going to see if I can't trade that guy off for a Glock 17. I'm not a big Glock fan because I'm not the most comfortable with the way they feel in my hand. I'd much rather have an M&P or an XD, but I also, for the practicality of it, I understand the universalness of a Glock. So I would like to have a Glock 17, and I probably will trade the other 1911 off. It's just a 1911 A1 mil-spec model that I've worked up a little bit, but you know, it's in good shape. It's a good gun, but maybe I can turn that into a Glock 17. Every prepper should have a 22, but the essential guns you should own, a 22 rifle. You got to own one, I think. The consensus is you need a 10-22. You just need a good 22 is what you need, and sometimes what you got is what you got. What I've got is this cool little 1955 model 62A Winchester. I bought it. This was an emotional buy. For those of us that are old enough, when we went to the fair or the carnival when it came around, and you went to the little portable shooting range, little shooting gallery that they had, well, what you shot was a gallery gun version of the Winchester 62A in 22 short, and they always loaded them with CB caps. So for all those guys that are younger, yeah, we actually shot real guns when we went to the little shooting gallery at the local fairs. But I always wanted one of these. I thought they were just the coolest thing in the world. Pump action, tube feed. It's not the fastest reloader in the world, but I tell you this, you're not going to lose your magazine. Another thing that's just absolutely wonderful about this guy is it is a takedown gun. The screw right here on the side, you unscrew it, gun just pops in half. I can throw it in my backpack. It's very portable. You can save a lot of space with it. I could probably sell this thing and buy several other guns for what it's worth, because I don't know if you can see this on the video. I don't know how well it picks it up. But this guy is, as far as NRA grade book, this is a 95% gun. It's probably fairly valuable. I didn't pay a lot for it. I got a good deal on it. But the function is going to be the first thing I look for, and it's a reliable, accurate, and functional firearm. So the value of it, if it can get me something else, several other things that'll do the same thing, I'm not emotionally attached to it, but it is pretty cool. My shotgun. Now, I didn't have the money to go out and buy myself a tactical shotgun. I wouldn't mind having one. And I may yet. Who knows? Maybe I can turn that 62A into, several other guns. But what I did to maximize what I had was I took my Mossberg 500A with a 28-inch barrel with screw-in chokes, went out and bought an 18-inch barrel for it. Didn't cost a whole lot of money to do. I think when I did it, it was $89. Give you an idea how long ago it was. But I think, probably for $150 or so, you could probably still today, you could buy yourself an 18-inch barrel for this guy. What I really truly love about this guy is the Tang safety on it. I love that because I am an ambidextrous shooter. One of the things shooting 3-gun that I learned to do, just because it just made things more efficient when shooting around barricades and stuff, when you weren't allowed to step outside of the box, is I learned to shoot left-handed, which really works out for me, and I should have been doing a long time ago because I'm left-eye dominant, strong left-eye dominant. So I shoot right-handed naturally, grew up shooting that way. Shoot left-handed, it's just as natural to me now. I've been doing it long enough. It's not an issue. So I made 2 guns out of one. I can provide food for my family with a 28-inch barrel, small game, bird. Even with this 18-inch barrel, I could shoot rifled slugs, still be a good deer gun if I had to use it. Excellent, personal and home defense, and retreat defense gun. Couldn't ask for a better one. It's solid piece. The rifle that I've got several other rifles. I've got lever actions, bolt actions. I don't have an AR-15. I'd like to have an AR-15, I just don't have one right now. Back in the late 70s, I bought a Armalite Ar-10. It was a Howa built. Really good gun. I loved it. The only thing I hated about it was they were proprietary magazines. Now you could take a AR-15 M16 magazine, you know, with a file or a Dremel, and you could make them work, but in the end it's great when something's designed for it. So, you know, they didn't make it for a while, or Armalite didn't exist for a while, and when they came back, the new Armalite company, one of the things they did was they reintroduced the AR-180. It became the AR-180B. It has got an all-polymer lower to it, which I have no issue with. People that say, I don't want a plastic gun. And so, do you own a Glock? Well, yeah, but that's different. Well, how is it different? Nice stout gun, accurate gun really for what it is. It's no H-bar competition model, but hey, it gets the job done. Uses standard AR-15 magazines. I like the P-mags. That's just me. I think they're tough, durable, they feed well. I've never had an issue with one of them. And quite frankly, I picked up a deal at Sportsman's Warehouse where they had these things for 10 bucks a piece, brand new in the package, only because they said Smith Wesson M&P on them and they were dumping a bunch of them. But I like my AR-180. It's a great gun. It's not a chrome-lined barrel. If I were a soldier in a soldier situation, that might be an issue for me. I picked the gun up cheap enough, even when it was new. I prefer to have a chrome-lined barrel, but I have ceramic coated the barrel, and I would guess that for my practical use, that's probably going to do me just fine. I've added a quick release Picatinny to it. I have found with the optics I've used on this, it is an absolute return to zero unit. There is not even the most minute, it does not get off at all. It's a return to zero unit. And then I've put I put the 3-point sling from Blackhawk on it. It's turned out to be a great sling. I like it very much. I probably won't do any other modifications to this gun because it's not practical. I could just as easily, and I need to get another one for my wife, get a little M4 or something like that, and you know, I can mod that up, but quite frankly, I don't need a kitchen sink gun. I need a gun that's practical and functional, reliable, gets the job done. One of the things I do like about this guy, though, is, and I should have probably partially torn it down for you, but it's not a big deal. Most of you know what the kind of stuff looks like. It's a piston drive gun. It's got a short stroke piston, and it was designed that way. It's not like retrofitted like some of the ARs, but this gun from its inception was designed to be you know, a piston assist gun. And I find it, the bolt stays, you know, nice and cool, and the gun functions flawlessly. I have never had, with my previous Howa built, or with this US built, this Genesee, Illinois built gun, I don't have any issues whatsoever with it. I'm not going to get rid of it. I may add an AR later down the line if money allows me to, but right now it's not a big deal. I like my AR-180B, and eyes are keeping it. So those are some of the things that that I've put together and sort of decided that no matter how hard financial times get, that I'm going to keep, because you know, they can provide food for my family, they can protect my family and myself, and they're functional and they're reliable. And that's really one of the things you've got to decide for yourself, I think, when you choose these guns is, you know, am I comfortable with it? Does it function well? Is it reliable? So those are the things that I look at, and that's my small little collection that I plan to keep for pretty much ever, for when the poop hits the rotary oscillating device. Hope it don't. Thanks for watching.